Now let's explore the attachments of ordinary beings, how they arise, and how they shape the heavens themselves. The very first attachment to appear is subtle yet powerful, the attachment to delusion itself. This attachment has no specific content. It's simply the act of generating delusions, one after another, endlessly. Each delusion, though fleeting, is divided by our discriminating mind into separate segments. And from these segmented delusions arises what the sutras call segmented birth and death. But what does it mean to be attached to delusion itself? Normally, when we're lost in thought, every delusion has content, something we imagine, remember, or desire. The content is the delusion, and the delusion is the content. Yet attachment to the delusion itself has no such content. It's pure restlessness, the mind spinning simply because it must spin. Let me give you an example. When my grandmother was 86, she loved watching television. The TV was always on. She would sit and watch, then drift off to sleep with the screen still glowing. But whenever someone turned the TV off, she would immediately wake up, saying, "I was watching that," and turn it back on. In the last 3 years of her life, she couldn't even tell which channel she was on. It didn't matter what the program was. The TV just needed to stay on. She watched while sleeping. When it turned off, she woke and turned it back on again. For her, the content didn't matter. It wasn't about the show at all. It was about the TV itself. This is what it means to be attached, not to the content of delusion, but to delusion itself. In the cosmology of the sutras, this kind of attachment gives rise to the highest heaven among the 28 heavens, the heaven of neither perception nor non-perception. Neither perception nor non-perception, as the name suggests, is a state that's neither thinking nor not thinking. Why not thinking? Because the delusion here has no content. Why not thinking? Because the act of delusion still continues. It's paradoxical, but it perfectly describes the subtle vibration of consciousness at that level. From within this contentless attachment, the first faint content appears, nothingness. Nothing exists, one feels. There is no self, no object of perception. This attachment to nothingness gives rise to the heaven of nothingness. Then comes another layer, the attachment to self. One begins to believe, I exist. My consciousness is infinite, vast without boundary. This gives rise to the heaven of infinite consciousness. After that, consciousness turns outward and perceives its first object, space. Where am I? One asks. I am in space. Space is boundless, and so is my consciousness. My boundless awareness fills the boundless void. This realization forms the heaven of boundless space. And so, we arrive at the 4 heavens of the Formless Realm, the highest domain of the 28 heavens. They are called formless because no material objects exist there, only the vast fields of consciousness and emptiness. Now, as consciousness continues to evolve, something begins to appear within that emptiness, form. This marks the birth of the form realm and its 18 heavens.Yet in this realm. Objects take shape. First come names, then tangible forms, things that can be recognized through the senses. The very first organ to appear is the eye. But the eyeball alone cannot float in space. It needs protection, it needs a body to hold it, and a surface through which it can touch other things. Thus, the body arises. Objects move, they vibrate, and that vibration creates sound. To perceive sound, another organ appears, the ear. Now we can see, touch, and hear. But perception still lacks detail. We need to distinguish between things, say, between foul and fragrant. So the nose arises. Next comes desire for possession. I want to take this in, make it mine. And so the mouth arises. When something enters the mouth, we want to sense its flavor, to know whether it's pleasant or foul. Thus the tongue is formed. Through this gradual evolution of perception, the 18 heavens of the form realm take shape. Here, beings have physical form, bodies of light or subtle matter. And the word form refers to this presence of substance. In these heavens, consciousness is still bound by attachment, but now it's attachment to objects, to lifeless things rather than pure thought. And from this, the dance of form and emptiness continues, a vast unfolding of mind, revealing how even the heavens themselves are built upon layers of delusion and attachment.